Good on you, boy. How good on me.
Everyone would love to say, well, you're 40, you're past your prime, you can't start now.
Right.
But then, I mean, we only have one go around in this life,
That
guys.
is so true.
So screw all that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the world you're in. I'm HalfLifeSistah, and this is my hubby Wolf King.
Everybody.
Welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sister and a Wolf Reaction.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
Got another Patreon request.
Actually, no, this is not a patron request. Someone came to me on Twitch and donated to me. I'm so thankful and grateful to you. Thank you so very much. And then he goes by the name of Wandernox. Is that correct? Wandernox. Hi, Wandernox. Thank you, love.
Yes, thanks for the
I
support.
appreciate it,
Not
yes.
everybody likes Patreon, we know that, so
And not everyone likes Twitch
sometimes
either.
people like to just do straight donations, and we appreciate
Yes.
that.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Well, Wandernox says, I would like to request 133 by Hurt.
1331.
1331 by Hurt. Thank you. First time donating to a streamer. Your passion is infectious. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
He's talking about
Oh
you,
my
but
God.
thank you.
I'm the first streamer you donated to.
That's nice.
That's major. Thank you, darling. Thank you so very much.
We appreciate that. That
Yes, I
acknowledgement.
do. Thank you.
Before we start, I'd like to compliment you on your beautiful hairstyle,
Thank you.
which is super cool. I love the buns, and show them this little thing right here.
What thing?
What, I don't know what you
Little
call it.
squirrely thing?
Yes.
You guys like it?
And how did you put those clasps? Those little metal.
That's what they're for.
Gold.
They clamp around the hair.
Oh, that is awesome. That looks so cool.
Thank you, baby.
You look amazing,
Thank
as
you.
always.
Thank you so much.
You blushing?
A little bit.
She can't take a compliment. She's
Ever.
terrible. All right, so the wiki says that Hurt is a rock band from Virginia, formed in 2000.
Glad it's rock.
One thing that stood out to me is the lead singer, J. Lauren Wintz,
Uh-huh.
formed it at 15,
Okay.
tender age of 15, singer,
Okay.
songwriter, guitarist, and I saw a picture of him playing a violin.
Okay.
So apparently
I wonder if there's violin in this
multi-instrumentalist.
song.
I don't know,
Okay.
We will
okay.
find out.
It's okay.
but as you can see, he's got a long list of past members. I think Jay is the main constant
So I guess this
in this band. They are still active, making records.
Cool.
And from what I saw with the song, apparently 1331 was the last four digits of the phone number to his mentor's shop.
To
I
his
don't remember.
mentor's shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was a guitar shop or an instrument shop.
Okay.
And this was the person who apparently he feels helped him formulate as
Wow.
perhaps a man and a musician. So this song is a tribute to him. And when you read the lyrics, you'll see it's pretty self-explanatory what the
Beautiful.
song is about.
Thank you.
And
It's really sweet.
I think he uses some quotes that his mentor gave him within the song as well that helped motivate him. So,
Really?
a very
Okay.
special song to his heart.
Okay.
And we'll see what it's about, all right?
Thank you, Wandernox. All right.
A sugar pop dropped down a livery slot, 'cause he loaded it up when I was there to buy some strings. Simple times like these would mean everything to me. Tommy looked up at his novelty clock. He stopped and locked up the shop to play a piece. He turned and talked to me till I would have to leave. Send young boy, you gotta let it fly. There's a song you long and I'm treating you right. Don't you pack the A cigarette shot to the marigold pot. As they wish me good luck, I shut the door across the street. Every couple weeks I would check in just to see. To Bishop in shock, picked the telephone up, heard my cigarette cough, and said, oh man, it's good to hear from you. And I believe the Tommy had to leave. Good on you, boy. How good on me. But good on you.
Thanks to Phobia Live for the lyric video, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
It's a sweet song.
Very sweet song.
Very personal song. A good first portion of that song was his influence, his mentor's voice, and then
Right.
towards the end, it's like seeing me play my tunes.
Right.
Look at me now, you know. I wonder if his mentor is still alive.
That is so sweet.
I would certainly hope he would have been alive to hear this song. I think of when I'm listening to this, like teachers who have kids come back to visit them in school
Right.
after they've grown,
Yeah.
to say, hey, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but
you touched me. You influenced me.
you made a difference in my life.
Yes.
And
You gave him wings to fly.
yeah, you know, and everyone has a different impact. And can you think of anyone in your life that has impacted you as to who you became?
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I had a few
Okay.
small ones, but you know, a mentor like this, someone who like genuinely makes an impact, that's a special thing. And
Actually, I do remember someone. I feel bad that I forgot.
Who?
Because I was thinking about teachers and things, but she
right.
wasn't.
No, it could be anybody. Just
It
someone
was a
who,
woman that was my mother's friend. She was our next door neighbor. I was 12 years old. And she was our new next door neighbor. She was actually living with someone else next door. And I never was really happy at home, but I gravitated to her. She became friends with my mom, and so I would go over to spend time with her. And she just always made me feel like it was okay to be who I was. It was okay to be quiet, and it's okay to be outspoken. It's okay to, to feel free within yourself. And as a young girl, as a 12-year-old little girl that was suffering from low self-esteem and, going through the motions of in my young life.
have you said why you suffered from low self-esteem on this channel before?
Honestly, a lot of us go through phases in life, right?
Yeah.
And I will have, in all honesty, I would have to say that it was mostly because I wasn't raised to really love on myself. And a lot of, in the African American community, there's a lot of colorism, wherein that, a lot of people are color struck in that, the darker your skin, the less attractive you are, the bigger your lips, the less attractive you are. And I mean, now, big lips is like a trend now. It's trending, you know what I'm saying? And big butts is trending, But, in the African American community, unfortunately, and I've always been dark skinned and tall with big lips. I had to grow into my mouth, you know what I'm saying? But I was teased a lot as a little girl, called ugly, blacky, bubble lips, So everything about me being who I was as a young black African American young girl, I was told by people closest to me that it wasn't good. I was not good enough, and I look
Even
weird.
people really close to you.
Yeah, like my siblings. I mean, of course, I'm very close to one of my siblings now. We're both adults, and of course, he grew out of that. My mom would, instead of raising me to believe or just building me up to have high esteem in myself, she would just say things like, "You're a beautiful black girl. You're a beautiful dark-skinned girl." It was never like, "You're a beautiful girl." But I think you're a beautiful black girl. I think you're a beautiful dark-skinned girl.
There was always some sort of caveat, some sort of...
Exactly, kind of like when a person says, you're attracted for a heavyweight person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I never felt like that was enough for me.
A qualifier is what we call it. It's a qualifier, yeah.
Exactly, and so I grew up with a complex about myself, and I remember one time, when I occasion vividly, I had relatives over, and I would always be afraid to leave out of my room because I felt that when I did, they were going to make fun of me and tease me. And there was one day in particular, they threw balled up paper at me saying, "Go back in your room, go away, you're ugly," Kids can be really cruel. And when you're raised in a society or a culture that, ostracizes a person because of their skin tone, it's hard for a kid to grow up not being a part of that.
Yeah.
That mindset. But I've always the interesting thing though is that I've always, even though people would tell me I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I was too dark, my skin was too dark, my lips were too big, I thought I looked okay. I kind of appreciated my dark skin because I love it. But so it was interesting. It was a dichotomy where I didn't like what I looked like, but I kind of did like what I looked like. So I was wrestling I was in betwixt of what's been told to me and what I'm thinking,
Which
what I
is why
believe.
it matters to hear someone say that,
I'm
hey,
rambling.
it's okay.
Yes, and
like
so
the way
I'm
you
sorry I'm
look.
long-winded,
Yeah.
but absolutely, baby. Yeah, so she made me feel pretty. She made me feel like, you know what, you're great, you're beautiful. She told me I was smart, and I mean, she just gave me esteem. And so
And
when
maybe hearing it from someone else, you're like, okay, maybe it's not just me.
Exactly, that
Maybe
is
I am just
exactly
because
it.
when you're hearing all your close
Yeah.
relatives and friends and stuff
right,
making fun at your own expense, and you're not hearing the other side, you're like, maybe I'm the one who's mistaken. Maybe
Exactly, that
maybe
is
what
true.
I see in the mirror isn't correct.
And-
I guess I am.
And even in school, though,
Yeah.
because I was a dark-skinned girl,
Kids are assholes.
they didn't want to be friends with me or close to me. They chose the lighter-skinned girls, what they called red bones.
But again, colorism is a huge
and it's
thing.
still going, and it still exists today. Colorism is a really big deal today. People are bleaching their skin to make it lighter, and it's crazy. We're not taught to love ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, she left. She suddenly left. Don't know what happened to her. Like out of the clear blue sky, she left, and I was heartbroken. And then this hasn't been anything, but a couple years later, I was walking to the store down the street from my house, and I saw this little pamphlet with her face on it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's her, and she was a writer. Okay, yeah, she was a writer, and I can't remember her name to save my life, but...
You mean she was having like a book signing or something?
No, I mean, it was just something, a pamphlet with her face on it, and it was like words on it, and I think she was referring to a book she wrote. But I can't for the life of me remember her name.
Oh.
But it was just really surreal to me, like, oh my gosh, she disappeared, and now here she is again.
But you never got to see her again.
No, never got to see her. She lived in my heart, though,
Yeah.
for a while.
That's what I'm saying. So it's nice to be
Yes.
able to tell that person later on. If you ever meet her again, you'd love to tell her
I would love to tell
the
her.
impact that she's had.
I loved her.
No matter how small or how big, that it helped you in your life. These are formative years where
Right.
things like this matter.
Indeed.
But ideally, you would want it to be the parents, but that is not always the way it works out.
Right.
So when we have special people like this, for me, it was various people that peppered throughout my life. I did have a teacher who made me care about school, which is something I've never cared about. Mr. Hudak, which was an English teacher, the guy who rode the skateboard and dressed like a surfer.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an advanced English teacher, and he played Les Miserables for me. He's the one who got me hooked on that Broadway musical.
Oh,
and,
wow, babe.
And
Oh, you did tell me that. I remember
He's
that.
the only person who's made me read books that I did so willingly.
Oh.
I'm not a big avid reader, and that was probably the only time in my life that I actually enjoyed it. So he opened me up to desire, because he showed me that learning can be fun, which is something some teachers forget to do.
Yeah.
Not every student, and this is a big problem with our school system right now, and has always been a problem in school systems, is not every child learns the same. You cannot treat every curriculum and every child the same way.
Right.
And I've seen newer schools and newer curriculums starting to understand this and start to teach in different ways. But for kids who don't have very good attention spans, or who find basic learning very, very tedious, perhaps they're more creative, perhaps they're more advanced, being in school and being forced to do something like that at your against your will,
Right.
becomes more detrimental than helpful.
Exactly.
You know, I would find
Yes.
myself skipping a lot of school. I think
Me too,
my
for different
average
reasons.
skip days would be 60, 70 days per year. I had an English teacher who wanted to fail me. I had straight A's in her class, and she wanted to fail me because she felt like I didn't go there enough. Of course, I challenged her on that logic, but that's the kind of situations I was in. And so when you're dealing with students like that, you can't just treat them like everybody else. There has to be outlets for them. I had work experience. I used to go to 4 periods, and then I would work for the rest of the day.
Lucky you. I didn't have that.
Well, I don't know if that's luck. I mean, I was working though. I was bussing tables and waiting tables.
But you rather work or go to school? Because
No, at the time I would rather do neither. But if I'm being honest, the less school I had, the better. And I think that's one thing that formulated me quite a bit. Is actually I was working since the age of 10.
Right.
In my mom's restaurant, and that definitely gave me a work ethic.
Because you have a really good work ethic, babe.
Yeah, I'm a very.
Can you teach me,
my complaining scale is pretty damn low.
He doesn't complain about anything unless you yourself is not performing to your ability, and you're complaining.
Yeah. And my mom was my best
That's
friend.
me.
So despite having a shitty stepdad, my mom was certainly a beautiful person, and definitely was a main part of who I am.
Yes, babe. Yes.
Until she passed away, unfortunately. She passed away colon cancer at 40, and
So,
I was about 19 or 20. But I mean, that was enough. At that point, I was an adult. But I mean, now that I'm in my 40s, just imagining passing away at this age.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was heartbreaking when it happened, but it's just 40 is not even old.
I know.
You don't even feel like you've started to live
I
your
know,
life
babe.
yet.
I was saying the other day I just started living.
Yeah. So
I just started.
anyway, shout out to all the mentors.
Yes.
This is what the song's about. It's beautiful, personal. If you haven't thanked your mentor, thank them before they're gone. Like I said, I certainly hope he lived to hear this.
Me too.
It's beautiful stuff to be able to know what kind of impact we've had on people's lives, and to let them know. Makes it all worth it, right?
It does.
So beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Very sweet.
Thank you.
Thanks for the request. Thanks for the donation.
Yes, love. Thank you.
Keep them coming, everybody. We love you all. You want anything to add?
Well, I just want to say that this is a lot of fun, and this is just the beginning for me, and I'm hoping I can continue doing this for a very long time.
The song itself. You want to say
I
anything
think it's a
about
really
the song?
sweet song.
It was a cute little song. There was a part in there
felt
that kind
good,
of reminded
too.
me a bit of
It reminded me of
Steve Wilson.
something. Yes. Okay, that's what it was.
The part in the middle where he's playing the guitar. That kind
Right.
of reminded me a little bit of that.
The feel of the entire song actually was a very thought-evoking song.
Yeah, the
You
chord,
know?
the song itself it kind of had a sweet kind
Yeah,
of poppy
it
kind of.
did. Retro.
No, I was thinking more like of an indie kind of rock song.
Definitely indie. Okay.
That's the kind of
okay.
vibe I got. You
Okay.
know, not my style necessarily, but I
But
think
you enjoyed
it's more
this.
the message, and it's more about what it means as opposed to rocking out to some kind of song.
it
It's
felt
really
good
about
too,
the
though.
message in this one.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, certainly it felt good because
did
it
you
was
feel-
it was coming from a good place, and there was love there.
Yes.
In what he was conveying, and
Did
I
you
thought
feel
that was very sweet.
happy listening to the song? Did you feel, relaxed? Did you feel like melancholy?
I felt a little melancholy, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
because like I said, we didn't have tremendous mentors in our lives,
Right.
and they can make such a difference in what you become.
Right.
Unbridled, you know, I wish, and not so much for me. I feel like I'm kind of self-guided for the most part, and I've found my mentors in other places that I've reached out to my mentors. But for you, like for example, people talking about how you look and trying to keep you down, I honestly feel there was jealousy in your life, and I feel like had you had a mentor who you could have become a singer, you could have become a model, you could have become an actress, you could have done so much more with your life, but you didn't have anyone that even told you that you were pretty, and it's just wasted potential, and it makes me sad. So as I was feeling it, I was happy for him, but I also, from a personal perspective, I told you this before,
Yes, babe, yes.
I just feel like it was wasted potential, and I just want to see
I'm gonna do a
you
lot of
shine,
things.
you know? So
Thank you, baby. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
reason I'm doing all of this, if I'm being honest.
she's, you guys know she worked for an attorney for a law office, and she does that, and she's done that for years, but she's never happy, she's never satisfied, and I had to one day just sit her down and say, listen, you're not satisfied because you're not an office worker. You're not a paper pusher. You are a creative. And creatives need to create. Creatives need, and she's also a social butterfly. So I told her, why not just hop on YouTube, hop on Twitch, start talking to people, start building a community, and
And I
just get people to
did.
know you.
Thank
And then
you.
if you want to go into voice acting, or if you want to sing, or whatever you want to do,
Doing it.
I just want you to expose yourself and just be creative and see what happens. Like, we don't know what's going to come out of
No
any of this,
idea.
but if you don't do it, nothing happens. So it doesn't matter how late in life you are. Everyone would love to say, well, you're 40, you're past your prime, you can't start now.
Right.
But then, I mean, we only have one go around in this life,
That
guys.
is so true.
So screw all that.
Yeah, don't live
Let's
for people.
just
live
go
for
after
you.
it. Let's just go after it and see what happens, you know?
A lot of people, this reaction is bringing a lot of stuff up, but a lot of people don't understand. Most people that know me don't understand what I'm doing on YouTube and Twitch. It's foreign, it's confusing, it seems weird. For a very, 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 very tiny moment, millisecond, okay, at the beginning of this whole journey on Twitch and so on and so forth, I felt like, ooh, let me go under, let me hide under a rock, because I was kind of slightly, and I don't usually get embarrassed, you know that. I don't really get embarrassed. I'm that kind of person to get embarrassed. I was kind of like a little embarrassed that they're like thinking, what the hell, what are you doing? And people that know of me that worked, you know, me being in corporate America, they see me like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? So very, very, very millisecond, I thought, should I like not do this? But I'm like, oh hell no, I am not one or the two to allow allow people to live my life for me. This is my life, my body. I have to walk in it. You know what I'm saying? I have to live it. And if we're allowing people to live our lives for us, baby, you're not living.
Well, doubt and
You have to.
self-doubt always is going to creep in.
Exactly. You have to know who you are.
Especially,
own
you
that.
don't know how much of that is from your childhood. That little self-doubt.
Exactly.
Like, are you good
exactly.
enough?
Do
Are
you,
you good
baby.
enough?
Do you. Don't allow anybody, anyone, no matter who they are, mother, brother, sister, husband, friend, or what have you, deter you from being steady in who you are.
You gotta live your truth.
Yes, live your truth, baby, okay? Live your truth. Very important. Look at me. Look at me. You know, I still get people in the comments every now and then that are poking fun at me and saying really, you know, mean and nasty things. But I don't care. I'm going to keep on shining, you know? I'm a diamond. And you are too, baby, okay? You are too. Okay? All right.
Listen.
If you enjoyed this reaction video, I hope you did. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Comment below. Do not leave without subscribing, but also share our content as well.
And
As always, keep it metal. Metal forever, baby.
love y'all.
Love you guys. Bye.